everybody, I'm Flake, and I want you to play Magic. Now, it might be a little intimidating. The game is fairly old, like 25 years old at this point, and it seems like if you're not into it now, you'll never get into it, but I am here to dispel that myth and that misconception. Game's very fun, but you want to get started somewhere, right? So why not learn about the very basics, being the cards? So I'm going to go and walk you through all the different types of cards, and we're going to start with the building block, the foundation of any deck, which is your mana base, your resource pool, your bank, if you will, your lands. So getting started with Magic, you should probably know the different types of cards. And we're going to start off with the most important and the building block, the foundation of your mana pool. Mana, of course, being the resource that you use to cast spells. That mana emanates from lands, typically. Again, we're going to keep noting here that everything I'm saying is essentially the basic rules. There will always be exceptions or stretches for particular cards or rules, but for now we're just going to fix to the basics. And for mana, those come from lands. Now, the lands are typically in 5 different colors. You have mountains representing red, forest representing green, swamp representing black, plains representing white, and islands representing blue. And the lands that you just saw are the lands that are of the basic variety. Basic lands can be put in your deck to any degree, as many as you want. Now, typically between 20 and 25, somewhere around those that realm is where you want to be for lands, but they are your basic lands. Now, there are cards that are considered non-basic lands, as the ones that I'm showing you right over here. These lands are only available for 4 copies per deck. So these lands, these non-basic lands, usually have extra abilities. Either they're dual colored, or they have implications like they can mess with your opponent, or they can fetch other lands. There's usually some type of downside associated to them. Regardless, they are considered non-basic because they're not, just a plain mountain or a plain forest. But they all contribute in one way to your mana pool. Lands, be it basic or non-basic, live on the board. They're played out of your hand and they live on the board. Therefore, they're considered permanents. Permanents, such as creatures or enchantments, etc. Any permanent that is a card that is going to be living on the board, and land falls under that category of permanent. Now, like I said, there's no limit to how many basic lands you can put in the deck, but there is a limit to how many lands you can play per turn. On any given turn, you can play 1 land at a time. So on your turn, you play a land, and that's it for that particular turn. So that is essentially the basics for lands. Lands, again, being tapped for mana, mana being spent to pay for spells like creatures and instants and enchantments, etc. So hopefully that this is the first step towards your journey to learning Magic.